They knew that they had creative control since there were 20 years of neglect that they had to work through. He didn't see what they had, but knew it was drastic when he saw everyone's reaction as he walked out. Jeffrey Schultz was a very unkempt man, but he was well aware of that. The look started when he hit his midlife crisis, but over the years he grew used to thick hair that hid his face, but someone else wanted him to get rid of it. His wife Lori was the love of his life, and she loved him just as much. She had never complained about the way he looked, but whenever they wanted to go out somewhere rather fancy, he noticed the look of sadness in her eyes. She always looked after herself for him. She spent hours every morning getting ready to look her best. Jeffrey knew that he didn't pay the same attention to the way he looked. He was complacent with his appearance, but he saw the warning signs from her. Even though he wanted to change, he felt that he wasn't quite ready. He didn't think he could transform the way he looked. It was only for his wife that he would want to change the way he looked after getting used to it for 20 years. "I sent an email to the Rachel Ray show," Lori admitted, a sly smile creeping up on her face. "Oh, that's a dirty trick," Jeffrey said. It was one of his favorite shows, and it had more to do than the cooking aspect. The makeovers that the experts did were something that he loved, but now that she emailed them, it just wasn't fair. But despite what he thought, they actually picked them both to fly out to New York. He didn't know what kind of surprise the makeover team had in store for him. Queer Eye for the Straight Guys, Kyan Douglas, was there to oversee the makeover. The owner of the best men's salon in Miami would also be there. Just weeks from finding out Jeffrey would be on the set of the show, a smile on his face. He couldn't believe he got to see his favorite TV show behind the scenes. It felt that he could have been dreaming. He felt butterflies in his stomach as he was put in front of the camera. He could see something in his wife's eyes that he hadn't seen in years. His iconic words on the show were, "She married me with nothing on my face, so I'm willing to go that far." It appeared they would respect that. They tugged at the many layers, snipping away with their scissors. Everyone waited in anticipation. But how would he look at the end? They took away his old denim overalls and put him in a stunning outfit that wouldn't be out of place on a magazine cover. He knew he could never have afforded something like this, but he said it felt amazing to wear. Then everyone saw the makeover. He wasn't allowed to look at a mirror beforehand. All he could do was walk out when the curtains parted and see his wife's expression. Her eyes went wide and she started crying tears of joy. He turned around and saw the final result. It was unbelievable. Not only had they cut away decades of hair, but they had also taken away at least 10 years off his face. It was like looking at an entirely new person, but it was his wife's next comment that made everything worthwhile. "That's not my husband. He looks like a model. He looks like a brother of John Wayne. Handsome devil, grr." Jeffrey couldn't help but blush as he took his wife's hand. Rachel Ray and the rest of the team gushed as the audience clapped and cheered with surprising enthusiasm. Yes, he had been hiding behind his appearance for years. Seeing the new person in the mirror made him wonder why he hid in the first place. It was also another reminder of how wonderful Lori was and why he had decided to spend the rest of his life with her.